Imagine one explosive strike that doesn't just start the fight, it ends it. Sounds impossible? Well, think again. This is webbing, a devastating self-defense technique from my Widowmaker program. It's lightning fast, brutally effective, and so unpredictable that your attacker won't even see it coming. With webbing, the fight is over before it even begins. But fair warning, this isn't your average self-defense move. This is for those critical situations where you have no choice but to destroy a criminal adversary to ensure your survival. Let's check it out. Today, we're diving into my webbing technique, one of the core methods from my Widowmaker program. This technique is thoroughly taught in both my Widowmaker book and companion training video, where I break it down for you step by step. Now, if you want to learn more about this, including my devastating raising methodology, I'll include links in the description down below. But for now, I'm going to give you an overview of why the webbing technique is so damn effective, how it works, and how you can start practicing it today without a training partner. At first glance, webbing might seem like just another strike, but let me be clear, it's far from ordinary. The name webbing comes from the way your hands create a large, open web that completely envelops the opponent's face. Now, this isn't just a strike, it's a total shutdown. Webbing overwhelms your attacker's vision, disrupts his balance, and delivers devastating force to end the fight in an instant. Now, how do I know? Well, I've actually used it in real combat situations, and let me tell you, it works. It's powerful, efficient, and undetectable. By the time your attacker realizes what's happening, it's already too late. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to smash the like button. It's a simple way to support the channel and also let me know that you want more content like this. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson that could actually make a difference in a real fight. And finally, if you know someone who could benefit from this knowledge, be sure to share this video. It might just help them stay safe. Together, let's spread the word about real self-defense. Before we go any further, it's important to clarify something. The webbing technique should not be confused with its cousin, the shielding wedge. Now, while both techniques are part of my contemporary fighting arts system, they serve entirely different purposes in combat. The shielding wedge is a defensive technique specifically designed to counter a crazed postal attack, when someone charges in with wild, chaotic strikes. Now, I broke this technique down in detail in my video titled Ultimate Street Fighting Techniques. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend checking it out for a comprehensive explanation. Unlike the shielding wedge, which is about defending and creating openings during a flurry of attacks, the webbing technique is purely offensive. It's designed to overwhelm and incapacitate your adversary with one decisive move. Now, both techniques are invaluable in their own right, but they have very distinct applications. Understanding when and how to use each of them is critical. Before you can execute the webbing strike effectively, you need to establish the correct stance. Now, a solid stance provides balance, stability, and the ability to generate maximum power. There are two ideal stances for deploying the webbing technique: the first strike stance and the de-escalation stance. Both are designed to launch the webbing technique without telegraphing your intentions and keeping your adversary off guard. Now, if you're unfamiliar with these stances, check out some of my previous videos on my channel where I break them down in detail. But here's the reality. In a street fight, you might not have the luxury of assuming any type of stance. That's why it's critical to train your webbing technique to work from any position, even when you're caught off guard or under extreme pressure. Next is the correct hand configuration and body mechanics to deliver this technique. The webbing strike isn't just about throwing your hands forward. It's a precise, powerful motion that combines proper hand positioning, body mechanics, and forward momentum. Now, from a right lead first strike stance, you're going to overlap your left hand over your right, aligning your thumb under the fifth metacarpal of your left hand. Your right palm is the striking surface, while your left hand reinforces the structural integrity of the blow, enhancing power and reducing the risk of injury. So what you want to do is you want to extend both arms forcefully toward the opponent's chin at a 45-degree angle. You want to keep your elbows slightly bent on impact. So the power comes from the coordinated use of your back, your chest, your shoulders, and triceps combined with the forward momentum. With practice, this sequence becomes second nature, allowing you to deliver the webbing strike instinctively under pressure. Let's talk about using the webbing as a first strike weapon. If you follow me for any amount of time on this channel, you know I'm a firm believer in the first strike principle during the pre-contact stage of self-defense. Now, here at Contemporary Fighting Arts, my axiom is strike first, strike fast, strike with authority, and keep the pressure on. Webbing is ideal for this because it virtually is undetectable. There's no wind-up, no telegraphic motion, just a fast, explosive strike that ends the fight before it begins. Now, let's talk about targeting. The webbing strike is delivered specifically to the chin, and there's a reason for this. Striking the chin at a 45-degree angle sends shock waves through the cerebellum and the cerebral hemispheres of the brain, disrupting its ability to function properly. Now, this can lead to immediate paralysis, unconsciousness, or even death in some extreme cases. Beyond these immediate effects, the force can cause a host of other medical consequences. However, like everything in my Widowmaker program, this technique is not to be taken lightly. It should only be used in self-defense situations that warrant and justify the application of extreme force. This is not about aggression, it's about survival. And when your life is on the line, the webbing strike ensures you walk away safely. Now let's talk about the best piece of equipment you can use to master the webbing technique, the body opponent bag. This training tool is totally a game changer for developing precision, power, and confidence in your webbing strike. Now, unlike traditional punching bags, a body opponent bag provides target specificity. You're not just hitting a general surface, you're striking realistic anatomical targets like the chin. This allows you to perfect your accuracy and ensure you're delivering the webbing strike exactly where it needs to land. Another major advantage is that it lets you practice full force strikes without the risk of injuring a training partner. When you're training a technique as devastating as webbing, you need to go all out to truly understand its mechanics and impact. A body opponent bag lets you do this safely while building the muscle memory needed for real-world applications. Not only is it essential for mastering webbing, but owning a body opponent bag will also help you get the most out of many of my future videos, where I'll introduce you to additional techniques you can practice at home. It's a tool you'll return to again and again as you progress in your reality-based self-defense training. Now, I'll be upfront, a body opponent bag is not cheap. They typically cost several $100s. And if you're truly serious about real-world self-defense training, it's a worthwhile investment. To recap, the webbing technique is much more than just a strike. It's a versatile tool that can dominate in almost any situation, whether you're closing the distance gap or launching a first strike. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you can dive deeper into this devastating technique along with other Widowmaker concepts in both my Widowmaker book and instructional video. Check out the links in the description down below if you would like to learn more. Remember, techniques like the webbing strike are designed for those moments when your life or the life of a loved one is on the line, when there's no room for hesitation and failure is not an option. Master it, train hard, and stay ready, because when it matters most, you need to be unstoppable.